Obviously, October baseball is the goal every season that you want to get to, and it wasn't too long ago these fans were lining the streets for the Cavs parade. Final round of the Marathon Classic at Highland Meadows, and for the first time ever, it was on network television. We had the coverage for you on WTOL, and what a finish it was. Everyone hoping to be holding that trophy right there. Look how beautiful that is. What better person to know that than somebody who played under Woody Hayes for 4 years, the Hall of Famer Archie Griffin. Hear what the former Ohio State running back had to say about the rivalry and his memories playing under Woody Hayes. What are some of the memories that stick out to you about playing under Woody?
Well, the thing that sticks out with me.
I am joined by head coach Doug Downing, and obviously a thrilling game that came down to the wire for you guys. I guess, what were you telling your team coming down that stretch?
What an atmosphere it is here right now.
It never gets old. You know, I was able to go to one game in the division series, one game in the championship series, and now seeing game one here for the World Series. It doesn't get old seeing that sight. Now the question is, will the Tribe bounce back to take the final win in the 4-game series? We go to today's game, and Corey Kluber on the mound for Cleveland, but it was a rough start for the righty. And after placing in the top 5 in 2 events at the 2016 Rio Paralympics at Seago grad, AJ Digby is back home. Talking to the players in the clubhouse following last night's 9-3 loss, all of them had the same thing to say. They're excited to have Corey Kluber back on the mound. Now they have full confidence in their full bullpen. Hey, how's it going?
It's going great. It's game day.
Yeah, game day, exciting day, and I know this is a special one for you because, 40 years ago was when you really got to see the Buckeyes and fell in love, so you're celebrating an anniversary, is that right?
That is correct.
Big night down here at Fifth Third Field. 2 big-name players in the lineup tonight for the Mud Hens. Jordan Zimmerman getting his 2nd rehab start on the mound, and J.D. Martinez back in the lineup as well tonight. Both men are getting closer to making it back to Detroit. Week 2 of the NFL season is underway. Browns, Lions, Bengals, and Steelers all in action today. It took 6 hours and 19 innings. Right there it is. But the Indians broke the franchise win streak record with their 14th straight win. Now that was last night. Today, the Windians look to continue their winning ways. We go to the top of the 7th. Indians have a 6.5 game lead on the Tigers' best record in the American League, finishing their series in Kansas City. And is any rookie having a better year than Tyler Naquin? He had 2, not 1, but 2 home runs on the day, 6 ribbies. The last Indians rookie to have that kind of day was Corey Snyder 30 years ago. Naquin now hitting .324 with 12 homers on the year. Tribe rocks the Royals 11-4. I am joined by head coach Pat Kucharter of the Blue Devils. Now, coach, coming into the game, you said you had a good week of practice. You were looking for your offense to do some things they didn't do last week. Did you see a better performance this week? And it wasn't just an exciting day on the golf course. Plenty of action from the boys of summer today as well. Mud Hens fell to the Clippers 8-4. As for Detroit, Michael Fulmer on the mound for the Tigers. A lot of frustrations, but he says now is the time to refocus his team, have a sense of urgency, and get back to those good habits they showed in games 2 and 4. Congrats to him, and that's it for sports. Isn't that exciting? A local guy making it to Rio. Yeah.
Absolutely. What a great accomplishment.
And as you can see, this is the aftermath of what's left after those 1.3 million people were here to celebrate with the Cavs. And what better way to spend the holiday weekend than to find out you'll be representing the red, white, and blue in Rio. Otsego grad AJ Digby was at the Paralympic trials in Charlotte, North Carolina the past few days.
Well, Deshaun Kaiser from Toledo Central Catholic hoping to start at quarterback again this year. He took over for Malik Zaire last season after he was injured. Here's what Danielle found out today.
The biggest question coming into Notre Dame's media day is who will be in the pocket come game 1. Will it be Central Catholic alum Deshaun Kaiser returning as the signal caller for the 2nd season, or will it be Malik Zaire making a comeback from his injury? Head coach Brian Kelly says both are strong players with slight differences, making his decision a tough one.
University of Toledo cross-country runner Janelle Noe's life changed forever after she was severely burned at a house party last January. WTOL was in the courtroom over a month ago when Christopher Housel, the man responsible for the scars Janelle will live with the rest of her life, was sentenced. And now for the first time in a one-on-one interview with our Danielle Dwyer, Janelle is opening up about what happened that night. It's a story you'll see only here on WTOL 11.
When you think about January 15th, what comes to your head?
It's just a life-changing day, and not for the good, I would say.
January 15th, 2016. Janelle says she got a text from fellow student athlete Chris Housel about a house party at his off-campus home, asking her if she wanted to come over.
So I get there, and I don't drink, and so I always go there as a self-proclaimed DD, and then, hang out while I'm there.
Janelle says she wasn't even at the party an hour when the night took a turn for the worse.
He took air freshener, and he was trying to, light that on fire, and I told him, stop it, you're an idiot, you're gonna catch the house on fire, basically.
But Housel didn't stop.
He was walking towards me, and he had, a candle, kind of like this big lit candle in his hand, and he was down to his side. I guess he was carrying the bottle of Everclear. The next thing I know, he poured it onto the candle, and I was on fire. That's all I remember.
She says she heard people screaming, "Stop, drop, and roll." Her clothing engulfed in flames until a friend stepped in and ripped her shirt off to help, while others used a blanket to put out the fire.
I felt like my body just kind of not necessarily melting away, but kind of just feeling everything closing in, and I just felt like I was being suffocated. So I was conscious the entire time. I remember trying to scream and not being able to.
Janelle was taken by ambulance to the burn unit at Mercy St. Vincent. Over 50% of her body was now covered in second and third degree burns.
The ones up here on my chest and were the deepest, and my neck, and they were concerned about those a lot. They said that if I probably would have burned for seconds longer, I would have died.
But it wasn't until she was home from the hospital, trying to resume everyday life, that the reality of what happened really sank in.
It was just a combination of how I looked and what would the future hold for me, and how long is it going to take until things are semi back to normal.
Chris Housel was sentenced to 4 months in jail and community service in a burn unit. And while he will be out of jail in a few months, Janelle will live with these scars for the rest of her life.
I'm not him. I don't know what his thoughts are. I'm hoping that it will affect him just as long as it has and will me.
Wow, what an incredible story. I know you've been covering this from the beginning. What is her recovery process been like into this point?
Well, she has been able to go and run again. So she's very committed on this road to recovery, getting back to as normal of a life as she possibly can at this stage. So as you mentioned, I've kind of been along for the ride a little bit with her, and I have plenty more coming up. She shares her story about the struggles and the challenges in her road to recovery. Tonight that story will be at 11.
All right, thanks,
So,
Danielle. We're
yeah.
looking forward to that one. Wow, thank you so much.